Hey, Colony, we are back with the 4 agreements, and today is day 5. I will continue the reading midway through page 18 if you've got the hardcover. If you've got the softcover, I don't know what page that is. But it starts like this. Your whole mind is a fog, which the Toltecs called a mitote. Your mind is a dream where 1,000 people talk at the same time, and nobody understands each other. This is a condition of the human mind, a big mitote. And with the big mitote, you cannot see what you really are. Now in India, they call the mitote maya, which means illusion. It is the personality's notion of I am. Everything you believe about you and the world, all the concepts and the programming you have in your mind, are all the mitote. We cannot see who we truly are. We cannot see that we are not free. So we cannot see who we truly are, and we cannot see that we are not truly free, because we don't actually have a good sense of self. What's here is what someone else imprinted on us. That's what I think he's trying to say. That is why humans resist life. Think about that. To be alive is the biggest fear we humans have. Death is not the biggest fear we have. Our biggest fear is taking the risk to be alive, truly alive. The risk to be alive and express what we really are, just being ourselves, is the biggest fear of humans. We have learned to live our lives trying to satisfy other people's demands. We have learned to live by other people's points of views because the fear of not being accepted and of not being good enough for someone else is too unbearable for us to take. During the process of domestication, we form an image of what perfection is in order to try to be good enough. We create that image of how we should be in order to be accepted by everybody. We specifically, especially try to please the ones who love us, like mom and dad, big brothers and sisters, the priest and the teacher. Trying to be good enough for them, we create an image of perfection, but we don't fit this image. Who could? We create this image, but this image is not real. We are never going to be perfect from this point of view. Never. Think about how many different people you have in your world. Like, I have a face that I show my family. I have a face that I show my friends. I have a face that I show you. Getting it now? Not being perfect, we reject ourselves, and the level of self-rejection depends upon how effective the adults were in breaking our integrity. After domestication, it is no longer about being good enough for anybody else. We're not good enough for ourselves because we don't fit with our own image of perfection. We set the bar so high we can't jump it. We cannot forgive ourselves for not being who we wish we were, or rather, what we believe we should be. Guilty. We cannot forgive ourselves for not being perfect. We cannot forgive ourselves for not being perfect. We know we are not what we believe we're supposed to be, and so we feel false, frustrated, and dishonest. We try to hide ourselves. We try to pretend to be what we're not. The result is we feel unauthentic, and we wear social masks to keep others from noticing this. We're so afraid that somebody else will notice that we're not what we pretend to be. We judge others according to our image of perfection as well, and naturally they fall far short of our expectations. We dishonor ourselves just to please other people. We even do harm to our physical bodies just to be accepted by others. You see teenagers taking drugs just to avoid being rejected by other teenagers, peer pressure. They're not aware that the problem is that they don't accept themselves. They reject themselves because they're not what they're pretending to be. They wish to be a certain way, but they're not. And for this, they carry shame and guilt. Humans punish themselves endlessly for not being what they believe they should be. They become very self-abusive, and they use other people to abuse themselves as well. But nobody abuses us more then we abuse ourselves. It is the judge, the victim, and the belief system that makes us do this. True, we find people who will say to will say their husband or wife or mother or father abused them, but you know that we abuse ourselves way more than that. The way we judge ourselves is the worst judge that ever existed. If we make a mistake in front of people, we try to deny the mistake and cover it up. As soon as we're alone, the judge comes back strong. The guilt is so strong that we feel stupid, bad, and unworthy. In your whole life, nobody has ever abused you more than you have abused yourself. And the limit of your self-abuse is exactly the limit that you will tolerate from someone else. If someone abuses you a little more than you abuse yourself, you'll probably walk away from that person. But if someone abuses you a little less than you abuse yourself, you will probably stay in that relationship and tolerate it forever. If you abuse yourself so badly that if you abuse yourself very badly, you can even tolerate someone who abuses, beats you up, humiliates you, and treats you like dirt. Why? Because in your belief system you say, I deserve it. This person is doing me a favor by being with me. I'm not worthy of love and respect. I'm not that good. I'm not good enough. We have the need to be accepted and to be loved by others, but we cannot accept love and love ourselves. The more self-love we have, the less we will experience self-abuse. The more self-love we have, the less we will experience self-abuse. Self-abuse comes from self-rejection, and self-rejection comes from having an image of what it means to be perfect and never measuring up to that image or that ideal. Our image of perfection is the reason we reject ourselves. It is why we don't accept ourselves the way we are, and why we don't accept others the way they are. Take some time and post below. See you from Arizona.